Hey all, here at OS Reviews, you're watching our hands-on review of the TRIBIT XFREE TUNE. These are a pair of wireless Bluetooth headphones that retails for about $40 on Amazon, and the reason why they're interesting is because of the battery life. They're rated at over 24 hours on a single charge, which is actually quite impressive, especially when compared to true wireless earbuds, which can only get about 2 hours or 3 hours on a single go, and that's again not very good at all. So if you listen to music sporadically, you can technically charge these up once, every maybe few weeks or even a month, and you can just use them in between without having to worry about battery running low. Furthermore, you can even use wired 3.5 millimeters if you don't want to use Bluetooth, and that doesn't drain the power at all. So there's quite a few benefits there. The packaging here is pretty simple. We just have some basic specs on the back. It takes about 3 hours to completely charge, which is a little bit longer than your typical pair of headphones, maybe taking 1.5 hours or 2 hours. In the packaging, we have access to a user manual, which is documented in full color. We have the headphones themselves, which can be folded down like this for easy transportation, and there's the aforementioned auxiliary cable and micro USB for charging. Taking a look at the design of the XFREE Tunes first, they are made out of a soft touch rubber material, which is nice and grippy and also resists fingerprints pretty well. However, it does give a fairly conservative design. One thing I do like, however, is the kind of random assortment of lines running across each driver or on each cup. It gives it a slightly different look. Reminds me a bit of a studio style headphones that seem more expensive than the price here would suggest. And this part is made out of aluminum, so it has a bit of extra heft and resistance to it. The internals here, as far as the parts that move as well as fold down, are also made out of metal, so there's good attention to detail here on the parts that move for longevity. The shape of the cups themselves are slightly oval-like instead of just round, so they fit over your ears pretty well. I would say it's in between being true over-ear style headphones and on-ear styles, but as a whole it remains quite comfortable because of the pretty thick layer of memory padding that they have going on, which is soft and comfortable to wear. On the edges of the headphones, you also find access to dedicated volume controls, which are pretty easy to feel as well as tactile to respond. It's a nice built-in feature, so you can change the sound even when paired to a wireless device like your smartphone. On the bottom, you have the traditional auxiliary port for wired mode, as well as the micro USB for charging. You'll notice that this port here isn't covered up by rubber flap, and that's because, like most Bluetooth headphones, it's not completely waterproof, so make sure you don't get it wet or fully submerge it, and you should be fine. When it comes to sound, I was impressed with the XFREE Tunes. There's a good amount of punch in the lower frequencies, so if you're listening to bass-heavy tracks in the rock or EDM genres, you will have a pretty good listening experience. But it's also not overpowering. In fact, it gives a slight edge to mids and highs, especially with vocals. It still comes across as very clean in your tracks that you're listening to. So overall, it does a great job, even if you're watching movies, if you're listening to podcasts, because vocals are replicated very naturally. It almost seems like you're in a studio environment or listening to someone speak instead of listening through a recording, which is very nice. With that being said, it's not the cleanest sounding headphones in the world. Just like most Bluetooth headsets and wireless headsets, if you pause the music and listen very closely, you'll still hear a little bit of a background hiss. It's not going to be truly audiophile grade, but then again, at this price, you shouldn't expect that. Overall, I would say for listening to music, for listening to, again, podcasts and movies, it does a great job. They also get very, very loud. Even at only about 20 to 30%, they already compare to other headsets I've tested at 60 or 70% volume. So I wish there was a bit more granularity in terms of the controls, because if you use the volume rockers in the sides, it very quickly jumps the volume up. But overall, it works quite well. You can always use the software on your phone or the slider on different apps to control that on your own device. The battery life is also a strong point, as advertised from TRIBIT. It will last you for over 24 hours of continuous audio performance before you need to recharge them, which is excellent. That's more or less it for the TRIBIT XFREE Tunes. Overall, I would say these are solid Bluetooth headphones. Its strengths would definitely be the battery performance. It has one of the longest endurances I've tested out of any Bluetooth headset in this price range. The design is also, in my opinion, pretty classy looking, especially with these kind of metal accents on the edges. Makes it seem a little bit more unique. I also like the placement of the controls, including the power keys and the volume rockers, a lot. They felt very ergonomic when I was testing them out. Finally, they fit very comfortably over your head. But in general, I think these should please the average consumer looking for solid Bluetooth headsets at an affordable price with good battery performance. You can check out more details about these in our article, but for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been the TRIBIT XFREE Tune wireless Bluetooth headphones.